Hello, Smite fans, and welcome to episode 11 of the Gank Right Lane podcast. Today we're going over week 4 of the SPL season. We're going to have our week 5 power rankings, and we're going to predict the week 5 matchups. And we're going to be talking about the 10.5 patch. How are you doing today, John?
Good, man. It is early for some Smite talk. I'll tell you that much.
Normally we do this at like 8, and it's
6 hours from now.
3:25.
Yeah. Well, we're here. We're doing it. I'm excited. Crazy week of Smite. Not was it as crazy as last week?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It was a good week. But I'm ready for it. How you been?
I've been alright. You know, it's been a good week. We played quite a bit of Smite this past week.
Yeah.
Haven't played back on Smite, so.
Oh yeah. And you know what?
Friend of the show.
He's been saying, and it's true. I think we've only lost one game since he's been on. When he's on, we've lost one game.
Remember when we had a 5-man and Reed left and then Yang joined? And we won all our games with Reed, and then Yang joined, and we lost all our games.
And see,
Yang's
thinking
good,
it's got to be more of like correlate or coincidence.
Yes. Yang is good. Yang is not worse enough that we should have gone from dominating every game to getting dominated in every game. But that's what happened.
Yeah. I don't get it, but he's got a point, and I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, same.
But you know,
it means I don't gotta carry. I'm happy, you know.
Right. You just been playing a whole bunch of support.
I don't know why, but when you said been playing a whole bunch of, I thought of Hercules, and then I thought of Crit, and then I remembered the 70-minute game, and I about cried.
don't worry.
It's so bad.
I thought I was driving yesterday, and I stopped, and I was like, we really had. I disconnected for 10 minutes from that game. Came back. Came back in game. Yeah, that was upset. Anyway, moving on from that. I don't want to think about that anymore. But you haven't played any new patch, right?
I've not, no.
It just came out yesterday, right? I think. So, new stuff there. But with that, I think I haven't got. Let me double check real quick. I haven't got confirmed yet. I think Ixchel is available to SPL this week.
Cool.
I'm not 100% sure. I could be very wrong, but that'd be interesting to see.
For sure.
I'm not sure if she's in a good enough spot to where she's going to get picked up at all.
Right. I think the Warriors will try it for a game in their first set on Jake, and it won't work, and they won't do it again.
I see that exact thing happening. I mean, against the Gods, one of the freer teams for them.
I mean, they beat the Kings.
It's true. So we'll see. Maybe the Glides are going to take them. Because here's my thing. What? The only Warriors need to beat the Gladiators and the Dragons. Is it break the record or set the record?
If they win both games this week, they will break the record for consecutive set wins.
Okay. So
it will also be the first undefeated split in Smite history.
So there's a lot of pressure on them for this week, and I think I want them to do it. Especially after the beat them, whatever. Besides you, I know you did. I don't know, because the Dragons were almost there last year. They dropped it in the last set. I think they tied it, maybe.
Well, I mean, it was set by the Leviathans in like phase 3 of last year or something, and then the Kings broke it during the preseason tournament, and then the Warriors about to break it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder with recently, I guess over the past 2 years, it feels like there's another team going for the record. And is that something with the meta? It's just top teams are so dominant. There's not a lot of competition at the top. It seems like.
Yeah, I don't know.
What causes that? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, like, weird coincidence stuff happens like that in like sports all the time. Like if I remember correctly, there was a year where Boston won like a bunch of the championships in sports. Like they won like the Stanley Cup and they won the whatever the MLB trophy's called, and they like their basketball team made it to the finals. And then the very next year, Washington had all their teams do super well. Like I think the Capitals finally won the Stanley Cup, and the Nationals won the World Series out of nowhere. So it's probably like just coincidence, honestly.
Okay.
And it's not like those teams were bad. Like we're talking about the two teams that won the past two worlds, and then a team that is not lost in its team history.
But I guess more of my question is like, why didn't the teams like from seasons 1 through 7? Because I mean, is 10 really that much? What, it beat 10 sets in a row? Or is it 11? It's something wrong.
I think to break the record, they will have 13 because they have 8 in the regular season and there was 3 in the preseason, so they have 11 now. And the Kings won 12.
Okay. See, I just feel like because especially back then there was a lot less competition. The teams at the top were well and far above the others.
I think that might actually be why, because the talent is more spread out now.
That's
like there was only 4 good teams, but those 4 good teams had all the good players. Now all the good players are spread amongst like 8 teams.
That's
like even looking at the Gladiators, like they got Stewart, who's really good, and they have Kierme, who's been playing pretty well. Probably a top 5, top half maybe jungler.
Yeah, I mean, still, I feel like most players throughout the league could be interchanged with each other and still have a competing chance. I thought the Gladiators were going to win a freaking set all, and now they've got two wins on a week left to go. So,
God, I don't remember that game. Jesus Christ!
What?
The Dragons Gladiators game. Oh.
The Dragons Glad. Okay, so that was when the Dragons were up like 10,000 gold.
They had the best kill differential of any game this week, and they lost.
Okay, I gotta
It's the worst team in the league.
26-12. They had a 14. At plus 14.
Yep.
And they ended up with less gold, but
you cut out there
at one point in time. I really remember them being up a lot of gold.
They were
10,000, I think.
A lot, and then they killed 2 of the enemy team who like Kierme and Scary D just like walked one by one in the jungle and died.
And they didn't do anything.
Yeah, and they just didn't do it. They just walked away. They didn't even try.
Yeah, that was a rough one to watch.
You have to try to win, Dragons. You have to try. Try.
They said maybe next week. They're just trying to make the league interesting, I think. Because they don't want to just thump everyone, right? That wouldn't be fun.
But they're not thumping anyone. They were winning like 5 sets.
They're really not.
You know what's more interesting is if you send it to game 3. Just send it to game 3 if you want to be interesting.
I was so sure that the This was like their comeback week. This was the week to do it. I'm not saying the Hounds are bad in any means, but just a newer team. You know, I mean, what other two teams would you hope to face? The Leviathans and the Gladiators, probably. But I mean, this was their bounce back week, and they couldn't do it. So now next week they play the Warriors.
Like, just like whoever is their shot caller, they have to not have them calling the shots anymore. They have to change who their shot caller is. I don't even care who it is. I'm assuming it's PBM. I do not care. Make it anybody else. If you cannot convert that, make your shot caller anybody else.
Right.
I mean, this team is too talented to not be able to get that siege against the Gladiators without Kiermy. As much as I love Stewart, Kiermy is the engine behind everything that team does. Right?
Yeah.
Like Stewart's important, but he's not the one making the car go, you know? He's like the steering wheel. Stewart's like the steering wheel. Kiermy's the engine. They took the engine out of the car and threw it on the side of the road, and they said, you can no longer drive this car, and then they still got ran over by the fucking car!
It's not even... I mean, they just stood in front of it. I was coming down the hill, man. I don't know. They put it on the top of the hill, and they stood at the bottom and watched it roll right out.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's frustrating. I think we were talking earlier in the week. Like, we could put a team together of, 5 of our friends and put us in that situation where we are 3v5.
Yes, we could convert that chance.
I think they had... I can't remember if they had fire or not. I'm pretty sure they had fire. There was like 30 seconds left on it, but they had fire. Maybe. No. I don't know. I can't remember. But
no, it doesn't matter. Like,
we at least go in there and what? We get a Phoenix, probably lose 2 or 3 people, and even then, at least you have map state on your side.
Right. I don't think we would lose.
Say if Fire Giant was falling off that soon anyway.
How much better, like even the Gladiators are than us. I don't think we would lose 3 people sieging a Phoenix against inbound Snoopy and Stewart. Like, we might lose some, but like, are they even going to try to contest the Phoenix there? You know what I mean? Because if they contest it and we kill them, they lose the game.
Yeah. So what did they have here? I'm looking at characters. It was Yamoja, Merlin, and Serunios. Sure, I'm scared of Yamoja walls. Okay. But with a Terra and Guan and Nam.
Well, they were full health as well. The Dragons were.
Double crit. The Phoenix is going to take from Lasbra and Vote. It's going to take them together. Say you had no minions in there. No fire giant, whatever. You walk in, make Mike tank it. Those two take 5 seconds combined, not even, to kill that. And you have a horse. Nika has a horse, man. Get on the horse. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. Yeah, that set really... That made me mad. Because I left. I know I told you, but I left for work after they had killed... After they backed away from the Phoenix, I was like, surely this game's just over,
Right.
And then I checked my phone and 2-0. I just...
this team made it to the finals of the preseason tournament. So they're obviously good enough, but they need a change of some kind. They cannot keep doing what they've been doing and expect it to work because they've lost 4 or 5 sets in a row or something.
Yeah.
Like, they've won 1 game in that time as well. Okay, no, they won 2 games. They got a game off the Dragons as well. My bad. But
wait, who would we be here? They beat the Gladiators first week.
They've beaten the Gladiators and the Ravens. But yeah, they've lost 5 sets in a row.
Yeah, that's impressive. They're going for the opposite record.
Yeah.
Reverse godlike.
If they go reverse godlike in SPL sets, I'm gonna cry.
They can't. There's no way.
What they look like right now, there's a fucking way, John.
So it's the same Oni Warriors that were of years past, man. They're doing the exact same things. They just have to let the game get played at them. And don't. I mean, it just feels like they're not doing anything. It's
right, but I mean those teams didn't have Lasbra and PBM, and when they did have good players, I don't remember who they had, but they had Cherio and like another guy, and those teams were like some of the best teams in the league in seasons like 5 and 6.
Yeah. Even last year, I can't.
Yeah, they had like one good set last year as well. Like
they had a good phase where they were like the number one. I think almost the first half of phase 3, maybe they were a top team or the. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 or what it was, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch some of the games from them and see what they were doing then that they're not doing now. Yeah, something needs to be different.
I don't know if the core of Dardes, Nika, and Vote are ever going to win. And I don't think any of those guys are necessarily terrible players individually.
It's well been time to hang it up for those guys. I think if any team's going to make a change, I think that'll be the first team to do it. I don't think anytime soon.
What change do you even make, though? Who do you replace on this team that you can get somebody better for? Like, are you going to replace Nico with Aquarius? Are you going to replace Dardes with Crimson, who looks like shit the entire play-in tournament? Are you going to replace Lasbra and PBM? I mean, definitely not one of those two, right? You're not going to replace Vote, I don't think.
No, and that's the hard part. Like, who do you even do this with? It would have to be a sort of situation where I don't even. Maybe something happens with the Hounds. They drop BQ. I don't know.
I mean, does replacing Dardes for BQ even make a significant change?
I mean, but it's not necessarily the skill, but sometimes play styles impact a lot. I mean, what about when they switched out Sam for Scream? You know,
I guess it's a good point. Yeah.
And Sam is a really good jungler, but they just switched him out, different play style. They just work.
Like, are they going to try to replace Lasbra with Sam? Surely not, right? Surely Lasbra and PBM are safe in this game.
I've actually heard rumors about Twig being replaced with Sam.
I mean,
which is he had a bad week.
So I don't think he's been that good this whole split.
But I mean, he's doing what he does. If that makes sense. Like, this is what he's done for
What if he
years.
does isn't enough for the Kings anymore?
Yeah.
Well, he's never been a jungle that, like, you know, blows the doors open or anything. Right. You know what I mean? Like, he's just kind of, like, fine and fits the Kings' play style. But if the Kings aren't winning, I mean, that's what they did last year, right? Netrui was a carry who fit the team's play style, and they replaced him with Yarkor, who didn't really, but he gave them a boost that they needed, and he plays the game in a style that helps the rest of the team work, and then they won Worlds and broke the set wins record. And they replaced Netrioid, who's the second best carry in the league right now behind Yarkor. Yeah. Or, you know, you can argue either of them for one. You know, those are the top two. Like, they replaced a top carry with another top carry. And it worked out really well for them.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, replacing, frankly, a middling jungle for another middling jungle, maybe that's just what they need. Maybe they just need a change.
Yeah. The switch-ups definitely, give the teams momentum. I mean, you can see it with any team that makes a switch. They just... I'm sure it really helps your mental as well, having a fresh team. So yeah, if you had to take one team what's your first switch that you could see happening, really? I mean, I don't need any players, like who would be coming in. I just want to know what you think. What team is getting rid of who first? That you could see happening.
I'm looking through some teams here.
I mean, I'm
Sino.
huh?
Sino. I think I could see the Ferrymen making a change to area Sino. I know he had a good week, but
Right. That doesn't mean one good week is I can really see Sam. I think Sam fits that team well.
yeah. I genuinely think Sam is probably the next guy in the league. Either for the Kings making that change because they expect to be a top team and they're, I mean, you know, they could easily still end up top of the order division here. They have Ravens and Hounds. I think if they get past and don't win the division, I think we see that change get made. I think there's a chance we do even if they win the division, depending on how they do at Masters. The other one I could see, and this one is probably a little crazy, but the Leviathans aren't really working. I could see Zapman out Stewart in.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's what happened with
I mean, that's how the Zapman got on the Leviathans. The Leviathans had a carry who got suspended, which I mean isn't quite the same, but he got suspended, and then Zapman came from the Scarabs to the Leviathans.
No, I'm trying to think of how it happened because no, okay, so what Yarkor played solo and they had Netrioid, then they kicked Netrioid for Julio, and Julio was a solo, so they moved Yarkor to carry for like 2 weeks, then Julio got banned. And Yarkor went back to solo and they picked up Zapman and took Zapman off. Okay, so I guess they took Zapman off the Scarabs and then put
So what I said, but you gave more of the like prelude to it.
Yeah, so I was trying to think of
it was
the
a whole weird, crazy.
There was a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, you know, like the Leviathans got rid of Netroid because it wasn't working. Like Shinto and Rangyu, and I mean, Final K was on the team that got rid of Sam. None of these guys seem like they're afraid to get rid of a player if it's not working, even if they're friends with him. So I could see Zapman going for Stewart. Because Leviathans feel like they maybe need a bit of a change. Also, Zapman's always not been great in the first split, and then he's won, like, what, 4 Worlds? So.
Right. and yeah, I don't think any team's going to make a change anytime soon.
3 Worlds or 4 Worlds? He's won Worlds a lot, is the point.
3 in a row, too.
Yeah.
Even more impressive. Yeah, I think we'll wait until later in the summer or early fall when we'll really start to see changes being made.
Right. I don't think anything's going to happen until after Masters.
And Dragons, I mean, the Dragons could be good by then. You know, the Leviathans could be good by then.
Right. Yeah, who knows? I mean, this Dragon team is probably talented enough to win Masters if they can get their shit together in time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how they're playing right now, they're not going to make it. So.
They still have, what, Masters is it's June 5th, 14th, 15th, I think I saw. So they have almost a whole month, I think.
Let me find out.
I mean, that's not a lot of time, but it's enough to...
I mean, they're playing the Levi's and the Warriors. They're probably not going to beat the Warriors. But if they could beat the Levi's and, you know, get themselves back on track, look good in that game, you know, then they got the play-ins for Masters. I think they could, you know, get themselves back on track in time, but I mean, with how fast they got off track, if they get themselves back on track that fast. Okay, so June 1st to 4th is the SPL play-in tournament for it.
Yeah, that's the plan, and then I think they give him a week break, and then 15th to 25th.
Yeah.
Let me. All right. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now looking through these teams, do you have anything to say about Ferrymen Leviathans match?
I was shocked for sure. But I mean, the Ferrymen had a
I
really
guess
good week.
Shinto coming back. Out him being on land wasn't the problem.
Shinto played well.
I mean, he's been playing well though the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, not this well though. I don't think I'd seen a game where he had over like 3 kills. And
See, I'm pretty sure he was
this
like
week he had
12
4 and 7 against the Ferrymen.
Let me try to find a game. Dragons Leviathans. He's end up winning this one too.
Yeah. I mean, Shinto and Adaptin are both playing fine. And Wrong You Fine Okay and Zapman are struggling.
Yeah, dual lane definitely a little bit. I think Rongyu's looked a little better than he did at the start, but I mean nothing
right
crazy. Final, man, I hurts me to say it. So, what's his name? Come on now, who's that one guy? Hazer. So Hazer does his power rankings.
Right. Hello? That's not good.
Oh. Panda Cat.
You were just gone for like 10 seconds. I think I'm having internet problems.
Okay, I was gonna say because you keep cutting out for me. Is this? Do we keep it rolling?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay. As well.
Yeah, I'll have to work on fixing. I like restarted my router last night.
Okay. Hey, this is the first time since Final K joined PBM and Panda Cat that he has been ranked, and he was last. So I mean, really, when his like first 3 phases in the league, he was bottom half, and he was top 3 for 3 or 4 years in a row. 4 years, I think. Maybe again. Was it his team making him look good?
I mean, you gotta sort of consider it, right? But
yeah,
I mean, I think the current meta isn't really, I feel like, the sort of style that fits his play style, you know? But like he's not a Guan player really, and Guan's real good. He's not really a Horus player, you know.
Yeah, okay.
But like I think he'll rise back up once like King Arthur and Kukulin and all those come back into the meta.
But my only thing is if you're on top for 5 years, you know, he has to have some sort of grasp of every meta, you know?
Right.
And so I don't know what is going on right now. The team change up, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with it.
Right.
But hopefully he comes back around because that's what
like his stats don't look great, and he's been making some mistakes. But how much of it is he's playing in a way that on the Dragons would work, but with how the Leviathans play doesn't? You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, and the entire.
I mean, there are times where it feels like he's doing the right things and it's not working out.
Yeah. I think, was it the Leviathans Ferryman match when he played Horus? And just looked
both games.
awful, man. He was 0-8 combined.
Yep.
Just looked awful.
I mean, 17 assists, but yeah, not good.
Still, yeah. So they've got some figuring out to do, which is time. You know, that's a big team change right there. Taking Panatom away and a new solo laner, which they've been rotating solo laners for consistently for like 3 years. But that team's really missing Panatom right now, I'll tell you how much.
Yeah, which is crazy because adapting is still playing pretty fucking well.
Right. Just a different play style, I would imagine.
I mean, kind of, but I don't know.
Ravens Glads? Ravens just...
Yeah, Ravens really said 2-0, 2-1 for trolling.
Yeah. They had, which I think this was a game for the people. That they lost game one.
They had Bastet solo in that game.
Bastet solo, Aphrodite support, Hell mid. They needed
Achilles jungle. What the fuck was that game, man?
full tank Achilles jungle. I guess he had a transcendence. Sorry. Then the rest tank. Yeah, needed to lose that. I'm glad they did that. They really freaked me out there though because I'm pulling for the Ravens a little bit, and I was like, if you're gonna drop,
I was happy about it. I was like, let's go, 3 kills on Stu. 3-0. 3-0.
Yeah, that helped you out a lot.
Yep.
But yeah, they ended up coming back. They looked fine. Just picked a better comp afterwards. Dragons Hounds.
Venenu's so good.
He is. He's spoiler. That guy is in my all SPL team.
Yeah, we're going to be doing all league teams for phase 1 of the season next week. I'm definitely considering him. He's in the top 3. I'll have to see how he does in week 5 for sure. I sort of just have like a short list right now for all the positions, and he's definitely on it.
We're gonna debate it.
Yes, it's gonna be one combined one.
I think next week we might. I mean, obviously, if this is what you want to do, have sort of a special. Maybe do it live. Post some things on Reddit, on Discord, Twitter. We're doing a live. The first official.
I'd be down for that. We hadn't talked about that at all, but I'd be down.
I know. That was just something I thought of that last night, and I mean I haven't talked to you since, so
right.
Surprise, but if we can make it work, I think that'd be cool because we can maybe, the first official all SPL teams. That might bring some people. Check it out.
Yep.
So, but yeah, Ravens players look good.
Yep, Hounds, Dragons. I didn't know Benny Q had played Yu Huang. I didn't see this one. Let's go.
Man, he's like the only player who plays Yu Huang in the league right now. I'm surprised he's not your favorite player.
I like him. That's the lack of wards. I say that, and then I scroll down. He had 18 wards in the game. He played.
Yeah, he's been doing fine with the wards.
The game they lost in that set. Guess how many wards he plays?
I bet I could tell you. Oh, I see it. No, I don't want to even mention that.
2. To be fair, both had the same amount. So
okay, but how do you go from placing 13 wards in one game to placing 2 in the next, and then back to 18?
I don't know. He just forgot.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's something that you just don't forget. But
I do.
I need to see him on Atlas mid again. Bring back Atlas
again. Hold on, he's done it before.
I would say it's pushing. Double digits might be a lot, but 7 times.
That's crazy.
This year, I think he's done it 2 or 3. So
He's my favorite player in the league.
that's what I'm telling you. You need to try out.
He's my favorite. I don't care if he don't play sports.
You're like me, except you're like 7 months behind me. You're catching up. You'll be set soon enough or something.
We'll do what soon?
Playing set.
Oh no. But, like I agree with you in terms of like the mental game. I'm 7 months behind you. In terms of the button pushing, I'm about 18 years behind you. I am not good at pushing the buttons. I've always been bad at pushing buttons in games, though.
Hey, just muscle memory. Don't.
Yes, I have a disorder that makes muscle memory hard for me. So.
Hey, I always remember that. I remember playing basketball with you in high school, and you're like, "Yeah, I can't."
I literally can't muscle memory to remember how to shoot.
Okay, I'm sorry to bring that up.
It's fine. I find it fun. I didn't know until I was 14. I was like, so you're telling me I had an excuse to be shit at everything for my whole life? You didn't tell me?
Was it something like your parents knew?
Yeah, my parents have known since I was an infant. And then they told me when I was 14.
So all of my high school days, I ran track and cross country, whatever. But I had a problem with my like hip falling out of place, like my the ball where it goes into like the socket on my right hip. And I spent years trying to figure this out. And just like last summer, my mom was like, "Yeah, you don't have that thing that keeps the ball in place." She's like, "Yeah, you don't have that." She's like, "We've known that since you were a baby." Like, well, you didn't think to tell me that while we were trying to figure this out. I was like, I've been working on this for years. And just now you decide to tell me? Like, I got shot, man.
Right, sorry. Anyways, okay. Warriors Levi's.
Warriors Levi's. Really looked like the Leviathan. I mean, they had a game, but it looked like in each game the Leviathans were like struggling not to lose, and then they found a crack and took it game 2.
They found a crack cocaine.
I'm looking at Final K. Yeah, Final K is built. He's got Dawnbringer last item on. Like, that can't be good.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's right on Guan.
I don't think you can use it on anyone though. I mean, I would just rather have anything else.
There was somebody I was playing the other day, and I needed a last item, and I was like, you know what would kind of fit here? Dawnbringer, and then we won the game before I got to build an item. So
you're lucky because you were lost after you built Dawnbringer.
I was playing by myself. Who was I playing? I think I was jungle. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, next game you switch it up. See what's he missing here? Genji's.
I know he built Dawnbringer and went positive, so
that's fair. Just keep going positive, man. Warriors look dominant.
Yep.
I don't see him losing.
I don't know how they're so good at looking dominant while dropping a game every set.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
That is. I mean, there was not at one point in game 2 where I thought the Leviathans were going to win that, and then somehow they did.
Yeah.
And so, but then game 3, Warriors, I don't think have ever dropped a game 3, obviously.
Yes. No, this team's not. Well, hold on. There are 5-game sets, but I'm pretty sure the one they lost against the Kings was game 1. So.
Yeah.
At 5-game set. So, yeah, no, they've never lost
game 3. 3-0 Dragons, right?
Yep.
So, game 3 is that's when they turn on the Jets.
They just got to keep making sure it at least goes that far. Well, I guess not. They could win in 2, but definitely don't just lose in 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all their best of 5 sets, they'll at least make it a game 3. So,
That's true.
which I don't see how any team is going to outlast the Warriors. If you have a best of 5, how in the world are you going to beat 3 games?
Here's the funny thing: is you're big on the Ferrymen, and I'm seeing a lot of people on Reddit saying the Ferrymen could do it.
And I think they could.
There are
I mean,
people who have the Ferrymen as the favorites.
I think as the favorites is excessive. I will. Yeah,
I think the people who have them on as favorites, I know this is the team that turns it on come tournament time. They've had one good week. If you have them as the favorites after the Warriors have not lost a game in their entire history with this team together, you're on crack.
Yeah, I don't know what anyone's thinking there, but I haven't seen anything about that. I do think, yeah, matching up right now, if they played like they did last week against the Warriors, I could see it happening. When did it was the last week of April? And they just got they went 2 games. Or 3 games.
Yeah.
This is when Sino was playing the Warriors. Or the Warrior Jungles.
Yes.
But yeah, I think they do it. Of all the teams, I think they do probably have the best chance. I mean, I thought it was going to be the Kings. But
the Kings still kind of figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
I know they lost both games this set, but Twig had arguably the worst week of his entire career. Let's just put that out there. Twig played like shit.
Yeah, what? I mean, against the Ferrymen, Ferrymen 2-0 Kings. Twig goes 3-8 against the Ferrymen, and then I don't even want to look at the one for the Warriors.
Went like 0-9.
He goes 1-3 this game.
Variety also had a pretty bad set against the Ferrymen.
3-5.
0-6 and 0-3. That's a fine okay stat line, but at least fine okay was putting up assists.
Man, Variety's been putting up these numbers every game. 0-9, yeah.
Maybe they should replace Variety with Sam. Just be like, hey, you can probably figure out the soloing, right?
Well, that's what they did with Twig when the Dragons picked up Sam, because Twig was their jungler, and they're like, okay, Twig, you're playing mid, so maybe just throw Captain Twig in the solo lane. Let them figure it out. I see. Was this the game? Oh, Variety carried game 2 against the Oni Warriors.
Yeah.
On Serb. I mean,
as we're talking shit about him, you're like, oh yeah, he won a game for
literally won them that game. I mean, he was in the back line soloing. He was 2v1 against Netroid and Pegon,
and that's why they keep him.
But let me see. They didn't ban the Cerberus again, but and I think they should have picked it too instead of a Guan, but oh well. Yeah, the big matchup we'd all been waiting for. Kings. Warriors take it 2-1. It would have been the game. Game 3 was so close too. If Twig wasn't 0-9. I mean, that's really the only thing you can talk about there, right?
Yeah. Tossing his ass off on Hebo.
Everyone does it.
3 ultimates.
And what was his damage too? I need to find this again. 12,000 damage. He had the least damage on his team.
He had less damage than Genetics.
The person with less damage was Jake on Afro, I think. Yeah. So, and it wasn't by much.
He's a cracked Afro.
Yeah. Afro just doesn't do a lot of damage, so it makes sense she's back there. Yeah, I think talking Afro is so before this past weekend, Afro was like had an 11% win rate, I think. And Jake had a 80% win rate on Afro himself. And so the rest of the league is picking Afro and losing every time.
Yeah, pretty much. You should not be worrying about Afro unless the other team has Jake.
Yeah. Which, I mean, but people are still banning it. People are still picking. I don't know why.
I don't really get it. Like, we have not seen anybody do well on Afro besides Jake.
PBM has constantly been slamming Afro.
Yep, he keeps picking mage supports, and it's not working.
Deity 0-3L. Yamoja. Oh, he gets a win. Besides play Yamoja.
He plays a Guardian support and wins. Whoa.
Well, and then he played. I think he just only played Terra against the Gladiators and lost both games there.
Yeah.
He played Horus.
That had its own issues, though.
Right. What we got one. The Hounds Ravens. This was also a match to.
Dude, it was tight. Hounds Bout took it. The
I
scoreline isn't going to show you that, but the Hounds Bout took game 3.
I'm trying to remember game 3. So what do we have here?
I was watching it, and I look away, and then I look back, and all of the Hounds are dead. And I was like, oh.
Man, Oath is a monster on set, and he's the only one who looks like it. Yeah, I mean, the Ravens won. They were down in gold when they won this game, 3.
Yeah.
I guess I'm trying. I cannot for the life of me remember when you watch how many Smite games were this week?
A lot.
1, 3, 10, 13, 16, 19, 21 Smite games. It all starts to blend together just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. But yeah, that was a fun one. I love watching both these teams. I think they're so much fun to watch.
Look at Barracuda's build game 3. he got Odibo to tier 2 and then went Warrior's Bane. He was like, I don't need to finish this item.
That can't be good. I don't know. I've noticed a lot of people are building into tier 2 or tier 3 Odibo whenever they're defending bases, because you hit one person and it spreads to everyone. And a lot of people have also been capping off their hunter builds with Titan's Bane for that extra pen.
Right.
But he didn't really get to either.
Barracuda on Zablanc popped off.
Yeah. He looked like he was.
Shit.
I think this whole set, Barracuda looked great.
Yes. I mean, 2 of the games were on Zablanc, and he went 3-0 and then 8-4.
Yeah.
And then in the last one, he went 2-0.
And what's CERN? Did they ban Zablanc?
Barracuda cannot decide if he wants to be really good or really bad.
They did ban Zablanc.
This week, he was like, I'll be good.
Week 1, he plays as like he's the best carry in the league.
Weeks 2 and 3, he plays like shit. Week 4, he plays like the best carry in the league. What's your prediction for week 5?
I'm going.
They got Ferrymen Kings.
He's going back to worse.
All right.
He's gonna be bad. He's gonna be bad. For the play. Oh, for the king. That's a free shoe-in for the Masters.
I think any of the teams in that division can technically still win the division.
Yeah. The Ravens Ferrymen, that one's important. Who else does the Ferrymen play? The Hounds. The Hounds play the King. Yeah. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
to see who's. So every game matters for the chaos or order side.
Yes.
Or the order.
I know, like, the bottom two teams can only get 6, and it's guaranteed one of the top two get 6. I'm trying to figure out if there's any of them that are technically eliminated. Because if the Kings win and the Hounds beat the Kings, they'll be 1-1, so it'll go to some other tiebreaker. I don't know if the Hounds would have enough of that tiebreaker to realistically catch them.
What is the tiebreaker in these scenarios? I think it's.
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, the Kings, the first time the Kings and the Hounds played, they 2-0'd. So the Hounds would have to 2-0 the Kings.
And then we go to something else.
Yes. Yeah, and then we have no idea what it goes down to.
And
maybe rock, paper, scissors?
Ferrymen would have to 2-0 the Ravens if the Ravens beat the Kings.
I'm trying to find the last time the Ravens and the.
It was 2-0.
And so, but then, there's so much to look into. That would take us forever to break down what situations.
I believe it is technically possible any of the teams can still win the league, though.
Yeah.
Or win that division.
It should be.
Yeah. Warriors have the league locked after this week. They have won phase 1.
Yeah, for sure.
Literally not possible for anybody else to catch them.
Are they 8-9-0 now?
They're 8-0, and the best any other team can do is 7-3.
Yes. Okay. Oh, yeah. So the team, everyone was unsure about top of the league, undefeated. Here we are.
Yep.
I think that puts us into power rankings for this week.
Power rankings.
Woo! Only Warriors number 1.
Yep. I have those.
Gotta have them there after what we're saying there. In the league. I don't know, man. I thought the Kings could beat them. If they can't, I don't know who can. Maybe. I guess your best bet is anyone on the chaos side or order side rather than chaos. But
definitely not in their division.
Yeah. And are these teams, I think some, like the Leviathans, the Dragons, and the Gladiators could have more wins and a different team besides the Warriors. Because it just feels like an automatic loss at that point.
Right.
Okay. So I went first last week. You want to go first this week?
Sure, I'll go first. Warriors 1.
Okay.
I'm keeping Kings at 2.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I about had them 3, but it was just 2 weeks ago that they 2-0'd the team I have in 3, which is the Ravens.
Okay.
Because, I mean, the thing, people might be like, I can't believe you have the Ravens up there. They didn't look great this week. They got destroyed last week. But the thing is that 3 of their 4 losses are to the team that currently holds the set win streak record and the team that is probably about to break the set win streak record. So you can't blame them too much for losing to those 2 teams, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And then I have, you're going to hate me for this one. I have Hounds at 4. And I have Ferrymen 5.
Okay, so I can see that.
I need one more week from the Ferrymen. If the Ferrymen win both sets this week, they're going second. And that's the Kings obliterate if the Kings 30-0 all 4 games, I'll keep the Kings at 2. But if they don't do something absolutely ridiculous and the Ferrymen win both games, the Ferrymen are going to 2. But they've had one good week, and that's not enough. I need one more week. I was thinking about putting them above the Hounds, but they've got 2-0'd by the Hounds twice. And one of them was just 2 weeks ago, and Sino was playing jungles, and it didn't matter.
Right.
So I need one more week for the Ferrymen to be higher. At 6, I have the Gladiators. For the
Really?
memes.
Really?
Yep. Just for fun. I don't
Well,
believe
I
it,
was
but it's
right. I
fun.
was right. I guess that.
Yep, you did.
And then I'm guessing it has to be Leviathans after.
Yep, Leviathan's at 7. And then I have the Dragons unranked because you don't deserve to be ranked if you're not going to try to win. And they didn't try to win against the Glads. So they're unranked. They don't get to be 8, they're unranked.
Forgot about that.
Fuck you, Dragons, you're unranked.
They're in the dude man bro ranking.
Yes. All right. What do you got?
I haven't. I'm gonna end up saying one. My 2 and my 3. There's a big question mark there on my paper right now. But I mean, I have the Oni Warriors number 1.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with my gut here. I'm gonna go Ravens 2.
I thought about doing it, but
you said they didn't look great last week. I think they won both their sets.
yes,
I think at this point the Hounds are a good team.
they are.
You can't.
I mean, they also dropped a game in the Glads, but they were trolling.
Right.
It wasn't the worst week of all time.
And the Glads,
it definitely wasn't the worst week of all time, but like I said, just 2 weeks ago, they got shit on by the Kings and Warriors. So
right, yeah. The Glads have looked like a professional team now.
yeah. They're all the way up in 6.
How crazy is that?
I think in the standings they're still 8,
but my 3's a Ferryman. I think they've been slowly. It started off, like a roller coaster, It's at the top of the hill, and then it like slowly rolls over that curve, and now they're on the downhill. At this point, they're picking up speed, man.
right?
They've only been getting better, and I think they're going to keep getting better. I almost put them at 2, but I don't think there's enough. Like you said, there's not enough yet. I need another good week. And then I have the Kings 4. Just because they've lost their last 3 sets now. They're on the downhill and not in a good way.
Right.
So
is your 5 the Hounds then?
My 5 is the Hounds. I don't think they're a bad team at all. I just I think they'll have to. I need a little more from them,
right,
as well, to surpass the Kings. Kings, like you said, the record holders right now for win streak, defeated up until last weekend. So I still think they are very good. And then I go Leviathans, Glads, Dragons, which.
What I would have done if I wasn't fucking around.
You're right. I would say the average person would have right there, but clearly, Alex, you're not the average.
You watch out. They're glad they're coming for the Levi's this week. They're going to beat them this time.
Okay, so now let's get you. You think so?
No.
Over.
I was doing a bit.
And I think they could. I might get.
They could. That's not what I'm going to predict, though.
Actually, I got my predictions. I got them.
All right. I'm going to make it up as we go. I'm going to do the you thing and just make it up as we go.
You not normally do that?
I do. Well, okay. I was just saying, you normally do it for the power rankings as well.
Oh, yeah.
I planned mine out in advance.
Okay.
But for the games, you got yours planned in advance, and I'm making mine up as we go.
Okay. Let me hear you. Ravens, Ferrymen.
Ravens 2-1. Bam. Done. Off the dome piece. I'm pretty sure I looked at this game all week. I was like, I think the Ferrymen are going to win this one. And sitting here today, I'm saying 2-1.
Yeah, I have Ferrymen 2-1.
Fair enough. Ferrymen enough.
All right. Ferrymen enough. Warriors glad.
Warriors 2-0.
I'm going 2-1 glad.
Wow.
Give it to me. I think they're the Kingslayers. The Warriors are nervous, man. They want to set this record. They want to tie it up, set the record. There was a team last year that got to this point, and they lost in the last. I think it was the Dragons that lost in the set to win it, to take it. So, I like I said, if Ixchel's out, even I think they might screw on game one.
The problem is there's no. I mean, every team has this problem against the Warriors. There's like no lane where you're taking anybody the Glads have over the Warriors, right? But like Glads have matchups where you can say that against other teams, you know. Like there's some jungles Kirimi's better than. There's carry Stewart's better than. Those people aren't Stewart aren't Netrioid and Panatom though. You know.
Yeah, there's It's gonna have to come down to some late game flukes like the Kings were. Yes. I mean, because you could say the same about the Kings. Like, who's better?
With how Twig's been playing, Kirimi is better than Twig. But
yeah, recently, but beforehand,
right?
Twig played like the best jungler in the league the week before, so he took the Miller status instead of if you're not first, you're last. Or Ricky Bobby, I guess Ricky Bobby said first, not Miller.
Yeah.
That's what we say there. Okay, see, I want to rethink this, but I'll stick with that. I'll stick with that. I don't want to. 2-1 Warriors. I talked myself out of it.
I'm gonna stick with it. I don't want to. I'm changing my mind.
2-1. I'm keeping the 2-1. It's going Warriors.
Alrighty.
Then Warriors Dragons. 2-1 Dragons, baby.
You're going 2-1 Dragons?
Yep. Because I wanted to save it for the Dragons. This is their comeback week.
2-0 Warriors.
2-0 Warriors.
They're gonna say everybody thinks they're gonna crumble under the pressure. I think the pressure is gonna make them stronger, and they're gonna shit stomp these teams.
Yeah, that's realistically. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Combined between these two sets, the non-Warriors team gets less than 10 kills. Calling it now.
Between both sets combined.
Between both sets. That's a little bit of a stretch. Less than 15
That's crazy. Even 15s is...
That is crazy. I think the Warriors are going to turn into diamonds under pressure, and I think they're going to shit stomp these shit teams.
No, I was watching Awesome Jake stream this morning. Maybe it wasn't... I don't know. It was video, stream, past stream, broadcast, whatever. But him and SOT were on. Maybe it was last time. I don't know. I was watching them, and they were like, we are... This isn't exactly what he said, but it alluded to something like, we're not fucking around this week. Like, we're coming in, we're grabbing the games, and we're getting out. You know, and I can see how they would, you know, come and have some fun weeks before, but now they're right here on the cusp.
Right. There's no fucking around. No, 15 is probably a stretch. I just went back, and if the sets go the same as they did last time, the other two teams would have like 50 kills.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to set it at 20. I'm going to lock it there. The Dragons and Gladiators are going to have less than 20 kills. Yeah, I don't think that's that unreasonable. There have been plenty of games this year where the winning team has less than, or the losing team has less than 5 kills.
Oh yeah.
And the Warriors like to win games quick, and if they're not fucking around, like these two teams are struggling.
Yeah.
If they don't do it, I think they're at least going to be on pace to do it against the Gladiators, and the Dragons are going to be like, we're talented, we just don't know how to siege.
Yeah, I don't. I think Pagon's gonna have a show out.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I just I gut feeling the shit out of that prediction right there.
Yeah, the 10 was extreme.
The 10 was way too extreme. You're right. 2.5 kills per game for the losing team is too low. It's up to 20. I think
the Gladiators get first blood in almost every single set they play.
All right, so that's
that would still be one. Yeah, 2 kills.
They got to figure out how to get another 18 against a team that is.
20s.
So this Warriors team has the chance to become the best team we've seen in league history. They are so good.
Yeah, Well, I think
And if they're
adapting
not
was
fucking around, then
the
watch out.
one thing. They did an interview with adapting. He was like, any team in the league right now, he said you could take the Gladiators right now and put them against the top teams from season like 1, 2, and 3, and they would absolutely beat the shit out of them. Because, like you said, the skill is now consolidated in the top 8 teams. And so yeah, realistically, whoever's at the top right now is the top. That's the top team. And if they're undefeated right now, I can't imagine.
Dude.
They're very, very good.
They just work on their picks and bans a little bit, Like, it's crazy, right? Because this team, like, coming into the season, every team, like, there's been so much roster shittery. Every team is trying to figure out how to play together, and you have to think that includes the Warriors to some extent, and they're still shitting on everybody. It doesn't matter. Like, even the Kings who know how to play together, they're shitting on the Kings.
All right. It doesn't look like it looks like these guys have been playing together for years now.
It's crazy. It looks like these guys have been playing together for longer than Pagon's been in the league. Like,
I think he actually came out of the womb a couple months before this league started. This season started. So
no, Pagon is actually 5 months old. Forget all of last season happened. He's 5 months old.
Yeah, Pagon's 5 months old, and he's dunking people.
Yeah.
Nuts in the face. Wait. No.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go with it. Nuts in the face. Well, you said even in picks and bans. What about picks and bans? You're like, they need to clean up picks and bans. I think that's where they're fucking around.
Same. That's what I'm saying.
And so it's like, I think they know how to do it. It's just whether they want to or not. And so this week, I know I need to give it to the Warriors, but I'm giving it to the Dragons.
Right. I am a little worried if they were to come up against a team that is as good as them, that I don't know if their tactical ability to adapt to that would be there. But the thing is that none of the teams are as good as them, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
Right? Like, in my head, the Warriors and the Ravens have similar problems, but it doesn't matter for the Warriors because they push buttons 4 times as good as anybody in the league.
Yeah. And I think the matchup between the Warriors-Ravens, the Warriors just know how to play into that a lot better. They take the front foot there. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm liking the matchup with the Ferrymen as well. And we don't get to see that. No. We won't get to see that till tournament time, which it's the Ferrymen's time to do it. Yeah. Oh, wow, we got way off with that one.
Yep.
Kings Hounds?
2-1 Hounds. Whoa, where'd that come from? What the shit?
Whoa, who said that?
I don't know. I closed my eyes and let the words fall out of my mouth, and then I heard them in my ears, and I was like, what the fuck?
That can't be right.
That can't be right. I'll stick to it. Fuck it. I'm feeling like having fun this week. I got Glass at 6.
You said 2-0?
The Hounds over the Kings. We're having fun. It's a fun week.
2-0, 2-1.
I said 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
It looks like an eyeball on my sheet, but it's just a 0 with a 1 in the middle. So, and yeah, give me 2-1 Hounds.
Let's go.
You're right. I'm a Hounds fan.
I have no basis for that. It's just what I felt in the soul.
The Kings have been losing.
Yeah, that's true.
Hounds have been winning and losing. So,
I mean, you say that. They did lose their last one. Before that, they'd won 4 straight.
Yeah. But, I mean, what? A 4-4 team versus a 5-3 team?
Yeah.
They look beatable.
Yeah, I mean, but in the last 4, the the Kings are 1-3 and the Hounds are 3-1. I feel like the Kings are definitely the favorites by a lot, and I feel like they're probably going to win. But like something just came out of my soul that said 2-1 Hounds, so I'm going to roll with it.
I could tell, man. You're passionate about that. So Leviathan's Gladiators. This is my highlight game of the week right here.
It's a big one.
Not really. I mean, none of the Dragons, Leviathans, Gladiators games matter. Right? I mean,
I think they might matter for seeding or something.
Oh, that's true.
2-1 Leviathans.
I'm going 2-0 Leviathans.
Alrighty.
Wait, what week?
Can't blame me for that.
Okay.
I don't know. I have a feeling Stu's gonna diff Zapman one of these games.
Probably. I'm surprised he hasn't done it the games past. I guess I played one game.
Yeah, one set.
One set against each other. Kings Ravens.
I don't fucking know. There isn't one in my soul for this one.
Whoa! I wrote the wrong thing for myself. I'm going 2-0 Kings. I started writing I don't know why I started writing Ravens, because I knew in my heart that it was Kings. Yeah, 2-0 Kings. That's what I'm giving it.
As a owner of Screaming Fantasy, you think he's gonna play well this week?
No.
No, all right, I'll go 2-1 Kings.
I mean, he hasn't played well.
He was fine last week. Give him a little credit.
He was fine. He was fine.
He was fine. He was okay.
No, he was Scream.
Yeah, I was about to say the game we were in 7-4-7. That was against the Glads. That don't count.
And they lost, man. He went 1-5 the first game. That about took it out of me.
Yeah.
I was pissed.
I'll go 2-0 Kings.
Well, I mean, like you said,
I don't think Barracuda's going to keep it up. I mean, I haven't beaten the Ferrymen, so I'm really just a fucking Ferryman hater, huh?
You really are.
I'm not a believer in the Ravens either, though.
No, I think both of what's it called? I think the Ravens are almost like little men in a big trench coat. Five. They're like 5 guys in a trench coat trying to buy alcohol, you know? They're like away with it. Like everyone thinks they're like, yeah, this is one just big man. But what I'm trying to say is I don't think they are as good as 5-3.
I mean,
crazy.
I kind of see where you're coming from, but Haddix and Venenu have been fucking.
Yeah, I forgot about Venenu for a second there. Wait, I'm sorry. I was trying to think.
I don't remember. I don't remember the exact stat, but Haddix is averaging like 15k damage mitigated per death more than anyone else in the league. I think he's averaging like 55,000 damage mitigated per death, and second place is 40,000, and average is like 28 or something.
That guy's good. He's
fucking ridiculous right now. He's taking damage and not dying to an absurd degree.
Yeah. He tends to do that. He just plays. He positions really well for that. Yeah. You know, I heard someone say, damage mitigated isn't impressive. That number doesn't impress me because that just means you built tanky and the game lasted a long time.
Right. Damage mitigated per death, you know, is a lot more impressive.
Per death, that's different. Yes. Yeah, that's different. Yeah. He's not dying. Yeah, I'll be honest with my fantasy pick. That's the solo lane I wanted.
Yeah, if I could go back, I definitely would have picked him over fine. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, if I could go back, I'm picking Jake first. With my first pick.
I got him in the 4th round, baby.
And then Panatom, which should have been my second pick, but I didn't.
Well, I mean, if I could go back, though, I'd be picking Panatom there. So.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd be picking, like, Adapting or something. Man, if I had Haddock's Panatom, I totally could have. I picked a solo in jungle.
I know, man. Okay, realistically, who would have guessed that Final K is going to be playing like this?
No, but I don't think anybody would have guessed Lazarus was going to not be great either.
Yeah. Yeah, at the time...
The only difference is I still should have picked Panatom at the time. But...
No, because, I mean, we had this conversation earlier, too. No one knew how the Warriors were going to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yuki.
Nah, still. Alright, anyways, we gotta finish pick'ems, so we gotta stop getting off track.
Two more games.
Yeah, we still want to talk about the fucking patch.
What are we at right now, time?
An hour 15.
Okay, we'll just skim patch.
Alrighty.
Ferrymen Hounds.
Right. This is me being a Ferryman hater because my soul said Ferryman, and I'm like, but the Hounds have 2-0'd them twice. So I'm going 2-0 Hounds.
Okay. I'm reversing it. I'm going 2-0 Ferryman. This is Revenge Tour.
Yeah, that's definitely what's going to happen.
Ferrymen are coming. They're picking up 2 games. And I think
I'm supposed to be an unbiased commentator. And I'm being very biased against the Ferrymen right now. Because, like, the Soul thing happened again. Like, where it happened with Hounds Kings. But it happened for the Ferrymen this time, and I picked the Hounds. But I gotta go with my soul. I gotta be unbiased. I gotta go with my soul says. I'm picking the Ferryman 2-0. As much as I don't want to.
Let's go.
As much as I fucking don't want to.
No, they've just been playing better. They've been playing better. It's your job?
It is my job to be an unbiased commentator. That is what my dad told me when I was talking about it. He was like, you can't hate the Ferryman. You have to be an unbiased commentator. And I said, I can do whatever I want, Dad. But he's right. I gotta be unbiased. I had to pick the Ferryman, and I fucking hate it. This might be the first time I picked Ferryman all year.
It definitely is. Wait,
no, I definitely picked him against Glads.
Okay, wait.
It's the second time I picked Ferryman all year. No, I picked him out getting out of the first round of the preseason tournament. That's what scored me on them, I think, is when they lost to the Hounds the first time. I'll become a true believer again if they beat them this time.
Oh, you had... How did I do this like this?
I don't know. What did you do?
I said, oh, that's power rings. Okay. That's why. Okay, for you. Nope, week 2 you did both games then anyway, so. Week 1 you did not pick Ferryman at all. Yeah, you have been a Ferryman hater.
I literally not picked them against the Glads.
Oh. Yeah, it had to have been the week I didn't write it down then.
Okay.
This is so my notebook really you can't find anything. I have a grocery list in here.
Why don't you just do a notepad on your computer or something?
I'm using pens.
Fair enough. I know I picked them against the Hounds in the preseason tournament.
Yeah, that one probably. I don't know if I wrote that one down.
I know I did, because I remember. Because we had the same thing through the first round, and then the second round we picked different. And you had Ferryman Kings finals, and I had Dragons Warriors.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Wait, you did have Dragons Warriors?
Yep.
Wow. Impressive. Right. Okay. Dragons Leviathans. End this off.
Levi's 2-1. No, Dragons can't see. It's 2-0. I keep fucking with you. I need to stop doing that. Sorry.
No,
because you're writing it down in pen, and then I change it.
This is just it's 2/D. We're going with it. Wait, did you? Okay, for Hounds Kings, did you go 2-1 Hounds or 2?
I went 2-1, and you made an eyeball.
No. Yeah. I couldn't tell if I was encompassing the one or writing in the middle.
Right.
Dragons. Dragons comeback week.
You're picking Dragons? You think they're going to end up with 4 wins? I mean, they're
Yes.
talented enough to win. So
Yeah, I think that team should be second in the division anyway. And I think they'll end it there. They'll pick it back up. They shouldn't be an 8. I mean, they're playing like the 8th place team, but they should not be.
right.
And so hopefully they figure it out by then.
I mean, if they and the Gladiators both lose both
Twitter
games,
will.
they'll still be the 7. So I'm pretty sure they will be anyways.
The Dragons and the Gladiators?
Yeah, if both those teams lose both games, I believe the Dragons will still be 7 and the Gladiators will be 8. Because the Dragons are 7 right now.
Yeah. It's because the Dragons are 6th right now, I thought.
They're 7, aren't they?
And
I mean, the Levi's have the win over them. And
oh
if all
yeah,
those teams
they're
aren't
7th. I was looking at something else. That was my fault.
okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, broke my computer. Okay,
Nice.
we're back.
Oh, we gotta talk about patch notes.
All right. Let's make this fast.
Yep.
What do we got here?
Changes.
Say it again.
Changes.
It is anime update.
Yeah.
What is this? VTubers?
VTubers.
How do you say it? Is it shoujo? Okay.
I ain't a weeb.
Wow.
I mean, I'm
honestly,
not. I don't know if that's relevant here.
I don't know.
The only one of
I
the
don't
people
know
I've
what.
even heard of before is Iron Mouse. So
See, and honestly, before this, I hadn't heard any of them. I don't know what sort of demographic this pertains to.
weebs.
I do like the skins though.
It pertains to weebs. That wasn't a joke.
I know. Oh yeah, Jerry was going crazy about these. So
Yep, he's a weeb.
call the guy out. Love him.
Yep, friend of the show.
That's what I asked him. I saw these skins and I instantly messaged him. I said, "What is V Shoujo?" And he's like, "They're collabing with V Shoujo." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, that's sick." Yeah, he was able to inform me. I do like the skins though.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's just their VTuber models.
Yeah. From what? Yes, I think so. That makes sense. Artemis rework.
Skin rework, not kit rework.
See that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is an important distinction, though.
She looks different.
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't have a problem with her to begin with, so.
Yeah, I don't think she was the skin most in need of a rework, but whatever.
Yeah, Hun Bats looks like he got hit by a truck, man. 3 years ago, they never took him to the hospital. It's just been letting things heal naturally. Poor guy. This is my favorite part of these skins. Because I feel like it was like a couple hours ago, but it definitely wasn't. Like 2 days ago. I don't know.
I don't know.
The Nazah skin. So you already have a hard enough time.
Yes.
Distinguishing if Nazah is male or female.
Who doesn't?
And now they have a female skin for Nazah. So Alex is never going to figure it out. I've come to.
I think she's a pretty strong god, but he could use a few changes.
Hey, you know what? We get what you mean. I get what you mean. that I don't know why every time we're in like exactly who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about, but it's like Alex. There's a little voice in my head. It's Alex. It's not right. That's wrong. Oh, this
Yeah,
is the
well,
first time I'm reading over these.
yeah. There's a lot of bug changes. It looks like item bug fixes, god bug fixes. Skip over all that. We don't got time. I gotta go soon. Gotta shoot my bro. So
um. So yeah,
oh,
running
they
through.
increased joust and dual setup time. Yes,
No way.
they did. It's going from 45 to
We might
60
not be late.
seconds.
You see, they also changed the map, so our rank
They did.
joust map is going to be different.
They also increased base gold spooling from 6 to 7. So they're going to go faster.
Yeah. Well, I think because they took out starter items in joust,
Right.
so that's I guess helps the tanks keep up because everyone has to split farm equally.
Right.
What I think Jerry was saying that towers now do more damage. I'm looking. I'm not.
P1 Tower has increased power from 170 to 235 on Joust.
Oh, so it's just joust.
Yeah. That's what I've seen so far.
Okay, yeah. I'm not seeing anything for conquest. One thing I do see
Which I
when
think
you
is
were
what he
talking about
thought it was.
poor guy. He's gonna be so upset. He was very passionate about that the other night about how towers were not doing enough. Um, Now everyone can see the timers for fire, gold, and pyro.
Oh, I love that change so much.
See, and I think there's so much like there's like skill differential potential
I
with the
kind of understand that, but the problem is that there isn't if you can count to 300. You know what I mean?
right.
Like every
And
time,
well,
just have your phone ready. Every time somebody does fire, just set a timer,
script.
and you'll know when it's back up.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, some people don't bother to do that, and I think because there are times I feel like we just pull fire and get it for free. Every time it's
Right.
contested, we lose it. But there are a lot of times we just get it for free, and I think a lot of that is going to disappear. Maybe.
I don't know.
What's
They're
this?
fucking mitigations.
Yeah, capped it. What?
Just cap it
25%?
25%, and you have if you use abilities, from what I understand, it like doesn't stack. It just takes the higher one.
Yeah. So I know it's given an example. Ravana ult gives you 10% mitigation. So if you've built 25% and then use Ravana ult, you're just gonna still have 25%. But Chalk ult, on the other hand, has 80% mitigation. I think it is. And so if you go up in a Chalk ult, you'll just have 80. You won't have 95 or 105.
Yeah. I didn't even know you could do damage to Chalk in his ult. I'm assuming that's while he's ulting,
Yeah.
not after, right?
Well, yeah, it's while he's ulting. So when he's up,
Yeah.
yeah. I
I
mean,
literally
legitimately,
didn't know he was a feasible thing you could hit during that time.
because a lot of times he has something like an Oni's or or something with mitigations, and so he's literally invincible with 100% mitigation.
Right. But like they said that the meta builds only give you about 24 mitigations, but Lono's plus prophetic cloak is like 35.
Yeah, I
So
think
they're just lying.
I don't know if they're talking more on the solo lane side with Sigil.
I don't know.
Even then, I feel like you're getting over. I don't know. Yeah.
New.
that's an odd one. It feels late. Because I mean mitigations aren't a problem right now. Feels like they could have used this.
Right. Well, what they're saying is they want to be able to buff the items again, so that it's still capped. But they didn't fucking do that yet.
Right.
Like, make that one big patch where it's like, okay, we capped the mitigations, but we made the mitigation items good again. Don't just leave the mitigation item shit and then cap it. Doesn't make any sense.
The third seasons should be coming out next month, right? Maybe the month after.
Okay, imagine you're using an auto attacker, right?
Okay.
And, like, say it's a Blanc, and you have a square active, right? And it's level 5, and it gives you 50 power. Now, imagine if you had more than 50 power, if the square just didn't fucking do anything. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Right. Yeah, there's no point in... I mean, it's like, why would you build that much... your ability useless?
Right. If you have less than 25 mitigations, does it stack then? Like, if I had 15 and I use Ravano, okay.
Then you'd hit 25.
Still.
Right. It de-incentivizes you from... Yeah, I would only want to max him out.
Playing as a tank, frankly. Because protections just don't do enough. They're a little bit better after they nerfed Pin, but they don't do enough.
Yeah.
And damage is so high, and the health that you build per item is so low, that building health is useless.
Right. Just kind of our same topic points the past couple.
Yep, I'm a little afraid tanks are going to disappear again.
Yeah, I heard, I can't remember who said it, where I saw it, but it said tanks weren't feeling the greatest right now on this patch.
I mean, they already didn't feel the greatest, but they were fine, you know? You could play tank again. I'd say it was pretty close to balance if it wasn't balanced. They definitely weren't OP. Also,
I think they just got worse.
The one tank item they should be nerfing, which is Prophetic Cloak, because it costs $22.50 and it gives you more stats than like any other item in the game. They fucking haven't nerfed yet. I mean, I guess they did nerf it a couple times, but they need to keep nerfing it. Right. It's in every tank build, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah. I think everything... I don't know.
I like some of the changes they're doing. I feel like I always end up being more negative on the podcast than I actually feel about the update.
Right.
But, like, some of the changes they've been making lately are just fucking stupid.
Definitely things that have come too late. You know, a lot of these nerfs have been needed for a while.
When you said too late, I remember when they nerfed Book of Thoth again after nerfing it the first time and nobody was building it anymore.
Right. It seems like it's out of... Things are... I don't know. I mean, scrolling through this, like... Why is Tyr getting buffed? I feel like he's just in a perfect... Sometimes he gets played.
Oh, yeah. He's been seeing play in the SPL.
He's fine. Why is he getting buffed?
It's one of those things where it's like, I like the idea of which stance you're in, determining like what a thing your ult does. But you needed to remove something if you were going to add that, because now he's overpowered. Tyr should not be able to be played in jungle, but you're going to be one-shotting people if you put him full damage, so you're going to start seeing him in jungle.
Don't say that.
Have fun if you are in any lane instead of just in solo lane. You're going to get bullied by this fucking asshole.
No, don't say that. I don't ever want to see... I don't want to see a Tyr for the next...
Ever again.
I'm begging you.
I don't want to see Tyr ever again unless he's on the torture rack.
Jeez, okay. Yeah,
He's not real, I can say it.
Vamana, Horus, Herc, Hell all got nerfed.
Good. You the slight buff.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, these are all gods that have been needing to get nerfed, and then I've been hearing that the Vamana nerf literally did nothing.
Yeah, it's a pretty small Vamana nerf.
Because, I mean, they fixed a bug, which the bug was holding him back.
Right.
So they almost buffed him, decreased his power gain by 15, and then buffed him some more. So he's gonna...
No, because it used to be he was supposed to gain 2% of max health per tick, but that wasn't working. But they fixed it and then also nerfed that, so it's only 0.75% of max health per tick. Which we don't know if that's actually a buff or a nerf because we don't know what percentage he was gaining before.
It was at the time.
But
yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, yeah, people said from what I've seen, nothing's changed. So, yippee. Yeah, what are they doing to Daji?
they decrease the cooldown on her dash as the game goes on. We just skipped over items, by the way. We didn't talk about most of the item changes.
Oh, because I totally.
Yeah, we just ranted about other things. Yeah. So Bloodforge they reverted. Fuck yes.
Yeah.
They nerfed breastplate. They made it cost more. Cannoneer's Cuirass they decreased the cost. They increased damage per level from 5 to 10. They decreased gold provided from 25 to 15. They decreased the cooldown from 27 seconds to 7 seconds. Your next successful basic attack on an enemy lane minion causes it to explode, instantly killing it, dealing stuff.
Damage and AoE.
Yep. We might start seeing this in solo.
So what I've seen, this was my question. If you kill the minion, you don't get the gold. We have to have someone near to get gold. Because then it would have been like OP in solo.
Right.
But yeah, it's like a magical golden blade almost. Yeah.
It's a defensive golden blade.
Yeah. You can build it on someone you want to be a little tankier on.
Right. People have been building golden blade on Hurt because he needs to clear. Now I just build this.
Right. And your thing is until you get an item online, you're so squishy, you're so susceptible to ganks. Anyone who's building golden blade, especially if you have a blue stone on top of a golden blade, you have nothing. And so this helps kind of mitigate that. Especially people who do want to build blue stone now can build this second item and still not have the greatest clear because they just auto a minion once. It's gone.
Right. And it does damage to everything around it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching...
50 plus 10 per level is pretty good. Early game, you hit an archer that's 60 damage out of their 200 health. And you kill one of them as well,
Yeah. Yeah, you kill the big guy.
Yeah.
And then you're good.
And then on top of that, they added Phalanx. Not added, but they buffed it. You now gain some of the buff effects that ally minions attain with each stack. When you are basic attacked by an enemy god, you and friendly lane minions within 40 units gain a stack up to a max of 3. Stacks provide 10% attack speed and 7 of each protections and last for 8 seconds. Minions gain double the effects from each stack. Stacks cannot be gained more than once per second. Or 1 per second. So imagine you have Cannoneers and Phalanx, and the other person doesn't. Your minions are going to be supercharged, and you're going to be blowing theirs up. Bust on a guy, who cares? Nobody's going to build
it. Honestly, a 5 decrease might help a little bit, but not.
It doesn't have any protections.
Right, nothing what it needs.
Maybe, because in support, you can get, basically full protections and 4 items. Maybe you could build this on a support since you're already going to have max protections pretty much. If you want another tank item. And they have lots of knockouts. So there is one use case where Stone God is ever getting built. And it's on a support. And I'd still rather have damage.
I'd rather have damage or anti-heal or anti-crit or
right.
A Magi's, you know.
Yeah. 100 different other items.
Exactly.
They reworked Spectral's passive again. Allied gods within 55 units take 30% reduced bonus damage from critical strikes, which is only 30% is not a lot.
I mean, for an aura,
yeah,
you know, that incentivizes it makes crit not obsolete. It's like
I mean, I hope it makes crit less good, but 30% just isn't very much.
Right.
Like, I mean, the Spectral was already not doing enough if you were the one wearing it when it was like 40% last patch or something.
Yeah.
So now it's less. It'll apply to your squishies at least, but... And also, when you get hit by a critical strike, you gain 15 physical power and 20 magical power, stacking up to 3 times. Which, I'm going to be honest, is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like a power item at that point.
Yes.
But you
if
have
the other team has crit, you are getting 45 power if they're hitting you.
But getting hit 3 times with crit, I guess with a Spectral, yeah, you're just fine.
Maybe.
Hopefully, yeah.
You're still going to be hurt, I'm going to be honest. Crit does a lot. And then they're for mitigations as well. You got to remember. So tanks are going to be less tanky, and now this passive does less. But you're going to do more damage. So what this is going to lead to is they're going to nerf tanks' tankiness again because Spectral makes them too OP because it gives them power. And then you're not going to be able to play tank anymore, so we're going to go back to having a mage in solo lane all the time.
You're going to predict the future again.
I really hope that's incorrect. I mean, that's like what they did last time. They made Contagion and what's that other item that sucks now?
What was it, Glad Shield?
No, not Glad. The one where if you hit, it did a bunch of damage. It had true damage on it.
Oh, yeah,
Druid
that was only Arc Druid's Shield.
Yeah.
They nerfed it so hard I haven't seen it since.
Yeah. So they nerfed the damage of those 2 items, and they also nerfed a bunch of tanky shit. And then tanks were real bad. All they needed to do was nerf the damage on those 2 items, and they needed to nerf mitigations a little bit. And then they way overdid it. Anyways, we already talked about... Is there anything else we missed on the God stuff before we jump back up to items?
I think just War Flag, you don't have to be like the lowest gold anymore.
Yeah.
You just get gold normally. No, I guess we're down to buffs. No.
Yeah. The non-conquest balance? Right? Or...
Oh, wait, is that what that is?
Yes.
Where's the non-conquest balance at?
I don't know where you're looking.
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing that. Okay.
Because we talked about all the God changes, right? I don't think we've really missed any of them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, nothing really with... Non-conquest is kind of not our...
Yeah.
I guess
Zimbo takes less damage. Nemesis takes less damage.
If this includes like duel, Olorin's going to be a lot better in duel. 10% less ultimate cooldown. It's his ultimate faster. Yep. You know what they say, if you're gonna have an Olorin in your solo lane, then have to often gank right lane.
Gank